Oh my goodness! Welcome, hey, we got a full house here. Full house for Crossing the Streams. We got a bunch of guests, but let's go right to the theme song. I'm gonna let Jess, you want to kick off the theme song?
I sure do. Oh, right, it's a cappella, so.
I could. Mick could do a beatbox for you if you want.
Oh man, I was gonna flow with it. Here's the story of some lonely fellows who spend way too much time watching the TV. All of them have jobs and friends. Well, not really. Just between you and me.
Oh, look at that. Try and top that, Mick Manhattan, TikTok king.
They made a live show out of their hobby, and Jeff will show this on his TikTok for some more views. Jeff, Ron, Sal, Bob, and there's Howard. They call it Crossing the Streams.
All right. Hey, let's get, go ahead, Casey.
And then one day they went live on all the platforms. You could hear the people laugh and shout and scream. Still can't find another word that rhymes with platform. But man, we cross the streams.
Maybe all together we cross the streams.
We cross the streams. We cross the streams. That's the way we do it. We cross the streams.
Wow, that was it's horrible. The welcome everybody to Crossing the Streams, where we answer the universal question: what should I be binge watching next? Oh my God, I just finished something, and now I got to watch something else. What should that be? Well, you have come to the right place. We have over 10,000 hours of TV watching experience on this episode alone. This is episode 108 of Crossing the Streams. We have over 107 hours streaming on our YouTube channel for you to enjoy. But right now, we have a few special guests today. We have a full house of guests. We have the amazing Jess Paul is back.
Hey, guys. Always nice to see all your smiling faces and pretend I can see the ones at home.
Jess is busy making some fake food and multitasking, crossing the streams. Mick and Casey, what's up? Scene snobs are here.
Both of us together in the same house screen place.
It's almost like Jeff didn't have a full cast tonight.
Well, it's always good to have the scene snobs and a first-time guest, Steve Pierce, comedian friend.
Hey, what's up, Steve? How you doing?
Hey, Steve.
Hey.
Yeah.
Just happy to be here.
And hello, Marcy, and hello, Sal.
Hi, and Molly. Sorry.
And Marcy's even loading up the screen too.
Well, Carmen's here. What's up, Carmen? How you doing?
Hi, Carmen.
Hey, Carmen.
We got Jerry.
What's up, Jerry?
What's up, Jerry?
Jerry and Lee.
Howdy, Lee.
What's up, Lee?
Man, we got a full house.
And Ron couldn't make the show, but had plenty of time to troll us. All right, we're good. Oh man, we got an amazing show. It's so full. We should probably jump into it because I know so much to do.
Wow, that's so funny that you said that. Did you do that on purpose?
Do what?
That's how Philip DeFranco opens his show. Let's just jump into it. That's literally been his catchphrase for like 10 years.
Oh wow.
Damn it!
No, I did.
You're doing such a good job on your
Jeff
show.
steals all his material. Jeff steals all his material.
I wish I could steal something. Mick was making fun of my TikToks before, which were really just TikToks that make fun of Mick. So I don't know why.
They're kind of make fun of everybody.
Yeah, I do.
They're always just not landing. That's the problem.
I did.
I did that. Comedian. How do you not know how to bomb by now?
I'm just not good with the video, like the 15-second video. So all I do is I take what I see and then I reverse engineer it, and then But I mean, nobody lip dubs like you and Casey. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, absolutely. John Tootin.
Say what you want. I mean, 260 versus 10,000.
Takes weeks of training.
I can put 5 seconds into a TikTok, or I can put an hour, and I will get 250 views.
Yeah, that's good.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. What's up? Actually, the only one I got. Sometimes they do better on YouTube Shorts. I'm a more YouTube Shorts guy. But Mick and Casey
Found your
can
audience.
school me later. Yeah, on how to do it better. Always open for that. All right, let's jump in because we got so much goodness here today. But last week on episode 107, we talked about Barbarian, the beauty queen of Jerusalem. Bob jumped into unsolved mysteries, and we talked about We Have a Ghost. And last week tonight with John Oliver. Oh, speaking of Bob, I forgot. It's Bob's birthday today. Happy birthday.
Bobby.
Happy birthday, Bob.
So wish Bob Phillips, Bob the Suit on social media, a happy birthday. He couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately, but
He's like, if I'm going to spend my birthday the way I want to, it is not on crossing the streams.
Right. So it's his 45th birthday. I know you're saying, "Whoa, he looks horrible for 45."
Wow, life has been rough.
Today we've got an amazing jam-packed show. We have we're going to talk about Selective Outrage, the new Chris Rock Netflix special. Jess, our YouTube correspondent, is going to talk about Philip DeFranco, who opens his shows just like me. And Cocaine Bear, the bear movie that is sweeping the nation. Poker Night, and Creed 3. And This Is Where I Leave You. It wouldn't be crossing the streams if we didn't have a rom-com by Sal.
Oh, I actually have seen that one. My God, you guys, I have never seen anything on these shows ever, and I've actually seen that movie. I am so excited.
Boom.
Well, then let's start with that then. Let's kick it off with.
Let me just say, the only reason that I've ever seen This Is Where I Leave You is because me and my family were going to see just the raved about Gone Girl, and it was sold out.
All right.
So I went and watched Adam Driver and Tina Fey in a
well, I'd like to get your take on it after, Jess. Basically, so this came out in 2014. It came on my suggestive on Netflix because of all the rom-coms I do on this show. So I wanted to do another movie, but that one was already reviewed. So this was the first one. So I decided to go back in time. I guess it was 2014. I don't remember it when it was out at the movie. And I'm a huge Justin Bateman fan. I usually see everything with that guy. But I missed this one, but I'm glad I watched it this week. It stars Jane Fonda. The cast in this thing is unbelievable. Let me just read down the cast real quick. Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, Jane Fonda, Adam Driver, Rose Byrne, Kathleen Hahn, Dax Shepard plays like a DJ in this. So basically what the movie's about is how it opens up. Basically the plot of it is Justin Bateman is a kind of a program director at a radio station. Dax Shepard's the hot DJ, and they've been working together for 7 years. He decides to come home one day with a birthday cake for his wife, and she's banging this DJ in the middle of the day. And that's how the movie starts. And then his dad dies right after, all in the same week. And him and his siblings, because of the father's request, get together for a Jeff, you might chime in on this. They out of the father's request, he wants them to have a shiva. He wasn't even Jewish, but he wanted them to experience the funeral of a Jewish person, the mourning, 7 days. And so they do this out at his dad's house. Jane Fonda obviously is the mother. And not to get into the whole movie, but all hell breaks loose. All the siblings get together. They all have kind of different personalities and different lives going on. Tina Fey is kind of an alcoholic sister. And then the one older brother, I forgot his name. He's kind of like a womanizer, just very outlandish, and fights with his one brother who's trying to get his wife pregnant through the whole thing. She can't get pregnant. So it's kind of just sibling mayhem, a little bit of tear jerking stuff between Justin and his mother, and just the loss of his father. Obviously, these people are experiencing their father's loss, but in the meantime, kind of reminding them of old flings. Justin Bateman sees this girl that he used to work with at the sporting goods store, and kind of has a little bit of a 1 week kind of little fling with her. And there's it's kind of a lot of different stories inside of it. I thought it was very, very well done. It's not only is it a rom-com, but it's a very, very funny, very, very funny script. I thought Tina Fey might have wrote this thing, but she didn't. I was looking at her for writing credits, but she had to punch up some of these punchlines in the movie because there's just very, very well written jokes. And me being a comedian, I love that part of the movie. Obviously, I'm a huge Justin Bateman fan. I'm a huge Jane Fonda fan. I left this. I couldn't believe I didn't see it almost 10 years ago. I give this a 4.5 tomato sauce jar. I thought it was very, very well done, very well written, good story. Always liked Justin Bateman and everything. He's just so fun to watch. He's just so good. He just is. He's just amazing. And he kind of acts the same as he did in Ozark. It's just the same kind of character.
I mean, Jason Bateman is his own character. Like that's
exactly. So anyway, with that said, I really liked it. I'd love to hear what Jess thought of it real quick. I know we've got a lot of people on the panel, but I thought it was great.
Yeah, I have to say I was glad that I was forced to watch it instead of Gone Girl that night. In fact, recently I was forced to watch Osage County against my will because it was miserable. Like, have you guys seen that movie?
Oh yeah.
No.
Talk about another funeral movie. And it was just such a downer. And so when I was speaking to the person that was trying to show me this movie, I was like, you know what's a good funeral movie? This Is Where I Leave You. I actually had to look the title up because I'm like, it's a funeral movie with Adam Driver in it. And the same year that Gone Girl came out, I couldn't remember the name. And I did not remember that being called that. So it was only recently that I'm like, yeah, it was so smart. I thought it was so funny, and yeah, just mirror everything that you said. But
yeah, absolutely. And I should have had that. It is kind of a funeral movie, but they don't do the regular funeral movie stuff. It just has nothing. It's not somber really that much at all. And
well, there are funeral comedies like that is a genre, or at least we can name a couple of movies. So
Death at a Funeral, the remake of Death at a Funeral.
Yeah.
Four weddings and a funeral. Four weddings
and a funeral.
This has Ben Schwartz in it, who is John Raphael.
It's a great cast. They did a great job acting together in this. They looked like they had a lot of fun, a good chemistry between all the actors. I thought it was great. Very, very well done.
How is Catherine Hahn not just been considered like a comedic treasure?
I swear to God, that woman is in every movie.
Because I've been watching. I'm watching Parks and Rec for the first time. She's brilliant in Parks and Rec. Like so funny in that movie, in that show. So anyway, all right, and this got Timmy Oliphant in it. This is all right. So we're definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
especially with 4.5 tomato sauce jars. That's a pretty good. that's a pretty good one. So all right, let's hit another one. Let's go. Let's stick within that time frame and hit up Poker Night.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much. Poker Night. This is a 2014 product and another one that fits in Sal's timeline. Not sure why 2014 became a popular thing. Must be something in the water, buddy. This one can be found on Tubi, streamed for free right now. It's a movie about a new detective who's caught by a vicious psychopath locked in a basement, and he must use the knowledge he learned from some of the best detectives at Poker Night, then match wits against his captor. So it's a really fun-paced movie. It's a very simple story of, person caught trying to escape from some lunatic and being tortured along the way. But each lesson he learned during a poker night with a bunch of revered, older, wiser detectives and lieutenants in the police force from all over the country basically ingratiate him into this. And every lesson he learns, we clip back and we're shown where he used that piece of knowledge or how he was able to use that to solve this next part of the riddle. essentially. So it was a fun, really enjoyable pacing that
Sounds
they
very
did with this
satisfying
movie.
as a plot.
Oh, it absolutely was. The bounce around was fantastic, and then it really comes full circle and does a great job. But the cast in this movie is just out of this world. So you start off with Bo Murchoff, who's the gentleman who plays the main protagonist, and barely noticeable, don't recognize him from much. But then you have Ron Perlman, Giancarlo Esposito, Titus Welliver,
My gosh.
Michael Eglund,
I
Ron
don't think I've ever
Eldard,
seen him in anything
Lachlan
else.
Monroe, and Halston Sage. Huge names, just fantastically done. And this movie was one that it was not trying to be a Tarantino-esque movie. It wasn't trying to be anything else other than what it was. And oddly enough, I used to think, wow, this thing really kind of reminds me of what they used to do on like the, Married to a Murderer or The Murderer Next Door, any of those, real true crime drama series. Well, come to find out that the guy who directed this, Greg Francis, basically has done most of those his entire career. Wives with Knives, Sins and Secrets, Devil in the Details, Outrageous 911, Married with Secrets, Buried in the Backyard, A Haunting, Homicide Hunter. It's ridiculous. So that's been his entire career, and then Poker Night randomly in the middle of all of that. So pretty fun little story in the way they put it together. So if you're a fan of true crime, and if you like the way those are paced and the way they always show kind of the flashback and you follow another series of people as they're narrating everything being done, it's a fun movie. And
I live for that.
Yeah, you can turn your brain off and just enjoy it and just watch them walk you through the entirety of it. And it's by the time you get to the quote unquote twist, you're along for the ride. So it plays well. So I enjoy this one, and I think it's definitely worth a watch. Recommend.
All right. Yeah.
I've never
right.
seen Juan Carlo Esposito in anything else but Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
He
he's
was in-
fantastic in this.
He was in Taps.
Do the
That
right
was his
thing.
first movie.
That's right.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yes,
Oh,
Maximum
God.
Overdrive, Stephen King's best, his Opus Dei.
I gotta say, I haven't seen a lot of
So
things.
how is this different than Poker Night from 2013 starring Ben Zentois?
It's good.
Yeah, this one is worth watching.
I don't know. That's the other 2013's Poker Night by writer and director Chris John.
Never trust a person with two first names. Can't do it.
Uh-oh.
I will say if that definitely looks like the either the Scarecrow or the Riddler costume from the Batman. I'll tell you.
Yeah, they tried really hard with the mask. There was a lot of effort in the mask, and they like showing the mask a lot, uncomfortably close to people as he just whispers in everyone's ears. So if you don't like whispering in your ears, this is going to be triggering. So just heads up.
Who doesn't like
like that?
whispering?
Hey, people are weird, man. Different strokes, different folks. I ain't here to judge.
Coming in, very important. Kevin Kramus wants to remind everyone that Classic Conversations is up for Best Podcast for our
Kevin
Detroit's Best
Kramus.
Podcast.
Yes, it
But
is.
also Kevin
Kevin
Kramus is
Kramus is
banned.
still alive? Holy shit.
The state fairs can't voice themselves.
He's
What
not
are you
that
talking
old.
about? Of course he's there. Thanks, Kevin. Very cool. All right.
Famous Kramus.
This is like that moment of the show. It's sort of that thing. We never know, when someone goes for the very first time. So Steve Pierce is
Cocaine Bear.
preparing right now. He's going to have his Crossing the Streams debut
Woo!
with one of the craziest movies ever, Cocaine Bear. Take it away,
I'm not
Steve.
gonna lie to you guys. I wasn't expecting like Sal in the case of your professional fucking reviews. Like I'm just gonna tell you, I went into Cocaine Bear expecting nothing, and it delivered. It is
Yes.
Elizabeth Banks' masterpiece.
Right.
It was Pitch Perfect. Now it's Cocaine Bear. This movie,
Damn.
I was a little upset with the heavy drug usage by the kids, only because, as a fan of cocaine, they would have died, and they didn't.
Oh, damn.
So look, she's a little factually wrong. I'm just going to say that. But I related to this bear on so many levels because I too have had a day where I have just been dog tired. But then that little drip hits your nose and you are wide awake and ready to go. Now, I've never killed anybody. Never have. Not yet. Not yet. I do have a foot fetish. The bear had a foot fetish. It's crazy. And those of you that have seen it know what I'm talking about. The bear definitely had a. I was relate. I'm Harry. The bear's Harry. We had so much in common.
Dude.
Plus, big fans of Ray Liotta. Me and the bear. Ray Liotta, last movie of Ray Liotta's career. You guys have to see it simply for that. Plays Sid the drug dealer.
Wait, did Ray
Amazing.
Liotta die?
Yeah.
Oh shit, missed
wait,
that one.
Are you what? How? That's like saying you missed Gandolfini dying. How did you miss that?
Shit.
All right, I digress.
Gandolfini?
That.
Nice.
Oh Jesus fucking God! Hold on, I gotta tell you, Jeff and Sal. I went and saw this movie with our buddy Stu McAllister. Now you guys know
I
Stu.
love Stu. Yeah.
Sure.
So
must have been
Stu
hilarious.
leads into me at this one point, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr. is in this movie. You guys know Isaiah Whitlock Jr.?
She
Phenomenal, whatever he's in.
He's been on my podcast.
Yeah.
He's been on some podcasts.
Stu leans in. Stu leans into me and he goes, "Motherfucker sounds like Cleveland from Family Guy." And the whole rest of the movie, it was Cleveland from Family Guy was the cop trying to solve the case.
Party over here.
It was amazing. Amazing. And then also, I mean, all around, seriously, the whole story is really about a father who's lost. He lost his wife, doesn't know how to relate to his child. His child's left with his drug dealing dad, Ray Liotta, who finally the bear decides to take out of the picture. That's like CPS coming and just sweeping away the bad parenting. The bear did CPS's work. O'Shea Jackson, Nepo baby #1 in this movie. I don't think nepotism helped him. Might have hurt him in this one. Should have done better, kid. Anyway, I recommend it. Go out and see Cocaine Bear.
I'm in, Steve.
Fuck, if that wasn't a sell, man.
Yeah,
Right.
I think you kind of put a red herring up, making it sound
And I would like for
the
you
other
to sell me
guys.
some cocaine before I go see it, if you don't mind.
No, I don't recommend doing that. Because I honestly, maybe a little weed, maybe a gummy, whatever. But don't do the cocaine, Sal.
Sounds
You're a big
good.
guy.
It
I'll
is
leave
based
it
on
for
a
the
true
rest of
story,
the
right?
Yeah.
It's
that's
I mean,
great.
I mean, technically it is, right? So they say.
I heard the bear interview.
But well, you know what? That'd be impossible because the bear died shortly after ingesting the cocaine. But okay, cool.
Oh, wow.
No, he meant in real life.
Oh, okay.
And the real story is a bear found cocaine, ate it, and probably died of a heart attack within
okay.
15 minutes.
Right.
they
That,
said-
that was pretty much the story.
And then someone's like, "Well, what if he didn't die?" And then Elizabeth Banks is like, "I think we got a movie."
And then what if it turned
Listen,
him into like Jason Voorhees? Perfect. Let's do that.
You're gonna watch this movie and you're gonna notice all the flaws in it. You're like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. But then at the end of the movie, you're like, holy fuck, was that fun?
Yeah.
It's like Alligator or Shakes the Clown or
Oh, shake the clown.
Death to Smoochie. Just anything that people don't appreciate. You're gonna get a fondness for it. And you're gonna love it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's gonna be a cult classic like that.
Okay.
You've sold me. There was like two of my favorite movies ever: Death to Smoochie and Shake the Clown. I mean, those are just like.
Who doesn't like Death to Smoochie? Jesus.
Oh,
Who doesn't like Mrs. Brady pissing on Bobcat Goldthwait? Who the fuck doesn't? Or Bobcat getting pissed on in her house? Call me. Okay,
Steve
sorry, I'm
Pierce,
taking too
Steve-
much time.
No,
good
you
job.
brought it. That was good.
Nailed it.
That was awesome.
You nailed it. Mick and
I ran the light. My bad.
No, you're great.
It was
Nice,
awesome.
Good job.
That was
buddy.
awesome. The Mick and Casey, do you have what were your thoughts on Cocaine Bear?
Go
Oh,
ahead, Case.
I think it was one of my favorite movies of all time. It was a movie that truly brought together artistry and brilliance. It was a mastery and absurd and stupid. It was just so good when you have children doing drugs and I'm cheering on a bear that is driven by cocaine. It's just, I mean, Elizabeth Banks, brilliant, had no idea. She's like a psychologist getting into my mind and showing me things I didn't know I wanted.
How did that work with Charlie's Angels?
Not great. But
I
this one,
I
was
still don't want to see that.
It was amazing. It's exactly what it needed to be. It's a Snakes on a Plane format, just perfect works, and Elizabeth Banks knocked it out of the park with this one.
Nice.
You know what I got to say?
I could have
Sometimes.
done.
Oh, go ahead.
Could have done without the park ranger. That was it.
Oh, she was great. Are you
Oh
kidding
man,
me?
Margot Martindale was phenomenal.
Oh. She was
Firing
just
from the
absolutely too stupid. Yeah, that was. I couldn't deal with her.
It's
I'm
great.
sorry. That was it.
I will
That was
say
my
when
one-
you
my
have
one-
I will say when you have a movie like this, the poster is really important. And it really is. And the cocaine, I would buy this poster and put this on my wall. The cocaine bear poster.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the cocaine bear poster is amazing, and I think helps kind of sell. Because think about it, if it could have been the bad picture of a bear or something, it could have just been like, But then the poster, I think, tell me that
I
poster
agree.
doesn't.
I love that.
elevate
Is so
this.
gnarly. That's
It's
so
amazing, right? All right.
You could have that poster trying to kill Hitler in a straight English accent, and I would want to see that movie.
In.
Called Valkyrie 2.
Oh man. All right. Let's see if anyone. Oh wait, here we got Marcy's brother buying premium AMC theater.
seating.
You got it.
He's buying his ticket right now.
Worth
That's
Do it.
that's a great review. He literally just bought his ticket to go see it.
Yeah,
Oh,
And he's 3 hours behind us, so he could very well be going.
He's off to see it.
He's off to see it.
All right, good job, guys.
Yeah, good
Awesome. All right, let's go deep into our YouTube franchiser. We got Jess Paul. She specializes in YouTube review.
I love this choice, by the way.
YouTube channel review.
Listen, I wanted to go back to basics. I'm like, oh, who do I pick? Maybe the guy that I've been watching for literally over a decade of my life? Seriously. And the thing about YouTube shows, okay, so in a nutshell, Philip DeFranco is a news show. In fact, one of his earlier or not more recent like theme songs would say, it's a news show. And everybody was like, is it a new show or a news show? Like the whole time, like nobody ever knew. And until we finally was like, let's just like get rid of the theme song then. And basically he started out as a guy in his bedroom, like so many other YouTubers have back at the beginning of YouTube, where he really had the chance to step up and just, you know, be on everybody's phones and radars. Well, we didn't even watch things on our phones back then. And he just kind of fit into the mold. The thing about Philip DeFranco that I think is so appealing, because when he was younger, he started with the very younger frame of mind. He picks stories from all over the world that interest him. He used to have, but like when he was younger, he would have something like a Megan Fox watch, and just like whatever she did, he'd be reporting on it. So it was that kind of news. But as he grew up, he became more cognizant of the world. Everybody else was around him too. So like everybody that's generally the same age or was able to relate to him back then got to grow up with him. And when it comes to YouTube, it's not just a channel, it's not just a show, it's a person, because people, almost always single like individuals, are starting out and running their own channels and making it in their vision, you know, like, you know, they are the gods of their own channels. And if they can make a career out of it, they're going to ride it until it runs out, if it ever does. And basically Phil moved with the times and, you know, tailored his show as different algorithms changed, but also just responding to the way that the market works, because YouTube can be very fickle. And of course, someone's going to text me while I'm doing this.
Answer it.
But anyways, no. Yeah. So if you ever wanted the news delivered to you via just the most basic and relatable guy possible. This is the thing with him, because I watched him today, as I do every episode that he puts out there. He asked the audience. I mean, he has opinions, he has a point of view, but he more so asked the audience for a poll of what you're thinking. I mean, he will inject his opinion every once in a while, but mainly it's to kind of entertainingly and in a very digestible way deliver some of the most important happenings from around the world. I gotta tell you guys, there's so many things like international events and you know, that I don't know about, because I can't sit still and watch actual real news. I have to get it fed to me. Everybody who's like, oh, you shouldn't learn the news through like, you know, a comedian. It's, you know what, bitch, that is the only way I'm getting my news. I need it with a spoonful of sugar. This is just how I work. I admit it. on the internet. Everybody can hear me. I've got paint on my hands, but thank God for Philip DeFranco, the every man's man view lens into the world as we know it.
I just
How
got
many
to say,
followers
like,
does he
I
have?
love that, and I think I'm with Jess on that. Everybody should check him out. He does great jobs with the news.
I'll definitely check it out
for sure.
And one more thing about him that's so interesting, because he has grown over the years, he will have to say sometimes, I know when I was younger, I had a very different point of view, and you guys remember that, but people change as times change. And I think that's reflective of a lot of people that are in his audience. We're not cartoons. We're not our generation X, Z, or, anything like that. We're all individuals with very complex row of morals and ways of going about this world. So to Philip DeFranco.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I did John Oliver last week. I couldn't agree with you more. It's the whole idea that you've
another
got to have
great example. Yeah.
The Daily Show kickstarted me in that, and with the 24-hour news cycle, it got annoying and frustrating, and I don't care about it.
Actually,
quite frankly, they're going to annoyingly discuss the same thing over and over, which is just hot button topics. Nobody's actually discussing what's happening in the world. So Philip DeFranco's an excellent choice. He's another one.
Casey, you would really, if you don't watch him, you should. You'd really like.
I've caught a bit of them. Absolutely, nothing consistent though. I should make that a regular watch.
Yeah.
It is my source.
Haven't you caught the Jon Stewart show on Apple?
I have.
Oh, it's very good. His show is very good too.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, What's the Problem is a good one.
Oh yes, that one too. I mean,
I don't know this guy. I don't know who you just described as Philip.
He's not as much comedy.
That's someone to listen to.
It's a little bit less comedy and more just an entertaining kind of. He's a really great speaker and a really great deliverer of basic news. He does have his own spin. It is he actually, whenever he throws a couple jokes in there every once in a while, I'm like, oh, good job, Bill. That kind of thing. But more the entertainment factor, bite-sizedness, just a really great communicator. Without, like I said, without a heavy political lean. When I feel that being burdened upon me, I'm like, please, I don't need this. I'm not on the street. Don't hand me your pamphlets. I don't want them.
And I will say, for anybody who hasn't seen his show, like, he starts out with more of the salacious sort of stuff, talking about influencers and things like that. But it immediately, like right after that commercial break, he rolls right into like big topics throughout the world.
Okay.
A little bit of everything.
I'd never heard of Philip DeFranco. I gotta say,
I've had to have been watching him for 13 years now, at least.
Wow, you think you would have heard, but you don't have to feel bad about the news thing, Jess. I mean, I think it's been known for a long time that, like Casey mentioned, the Daily Show, but I think a lot of people get their news from Saturday Night Live. I mean, I think that's a
there you go.
Weekend Update.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes the satire is a little bit more truthful than the kind of propaganda that's on some of these channels, don't you think?
Agreed.
Yeah.
For people that can discern, through the jokes and the point of view, I don't know. It's not only a spoonful of sugar. Sometimes it
seems honest. It just seems honest compared to all the other channels.
Exactly.
Except when Jeff is going to be hosting next week for the Daily Show. It's not going to be honest at all.
Who was great? I thought Sarah Silverman was so good when she was doing it.
She was really good.
She was really good. So, all right. Thank you very much, Jess.
You're welcome.
DeFranco. All right, let us go. So it's not a 2014 movie. Wait, let me find. I can't.
Semi-topical?
It's not, but it is. It is something that from that time frame grew from. Let's talk Creed 3, Michael B. Jordan's masterpiece. Maybe, I don't know. You tell us.
Well, I will say this: out of all 9 of the Rocky franchise movies, the first one has always been my favorite. I think it's the best. As a cinephile, it was the best story, acting, everything about it, the grittiness of it. That has been replaced by Creed 3. Creed 3 brings it all the way through. I love every movie in the Rocky franchise. I love Rocky 1. I love Creed 1. I love Creed 2. Great movies, especially Creed 1. Creed 3 just goes to a whole new level. And for for Michael B. Jordan's first directorial debut to come out and do this, I mean, I know he knows the character, so that adds a lot of element to it. And he's surrounded by a lot of the same filmmakers and cast. But man, his imagery in it is gorgeous. Kramer Morgenthau, who was his cinematographer in it, they did something brand new, because I tell a lot of people this, but Rocky, the first one, reinvented how to shoot sports. You know, they did something. John Avildsen really did something with like taking you out when you need a breather, putting you back in, and just really getting your heart racing throughout the entire match. This reinvented that in a huge way, and I can never see it going back. And the filmmaking, the acting, the story was great. It just all the way through. Jonathan Majors came in brand new and just took this movie over. It was truly fantastic. Every element of this movie was just great.
Okay.
Is that a good review for you, Jeff?
That's a great review.
No, great review. What's the basic kind of sketch of the plot?
So it's, of course, as we know, Adonis Creed, he's the champion. He's undisputed. He retires. And a childhood friend from his group home when he was a kid gets out of jail. And you start realizing more and more of his backstory and why this guy went to jail and who he went to jail for. And that's played by Jonathan Majors. His name's Damien in the movie. He always had a dream. He was a Golden Gloves boxer when he went in. And he came out and he always wanted to be the champion. He goes to his friend, starts working with him, starts getting ready for it, and turns it around in his favor, fights the champion, wins, and then turns on Creed immediately. And you find out why. And there's an actual sympathetic nature to his antagonist character in it, where you're like, I kind of feel like what he's doing. This was his dream the whole time, and Creed sort of stepped in over him. But it's done beautifully. The friendship in it, as well as like just being so adversarial in the movie, is great. Why he comes out of retirement realizing the only way to get through to his friend is to fight him. And when they get in there, it is, I just like it's.
Is it Warrior level? Is it Warrior level?
Warrior's not even on this level.
Get out of here!
I love Warrior. I love that movie.
Whoa.
Warrior's nowhere near this level.
Okay, well that's a
but
bold
although
statement,
there's a few Rocky movies that I would not put Warrior near.
Like
and I love Warrior. No,
Rocky 4.
Four, I would put Warrior above.
What?
But
that's
no.
soundtrack by James Brown. How could you even contemplate that?
Living in
like
America.
James Brown, Robbie Pepper ran that soundtrack.
No, it's. I think it's a movie everybody should go see.
Yes. Sounds awesome.
Do I have to see 1 and 2? Can I just go into 3 and be cool?
I would say, and you don't have to, but I would say it definitely enhances the experience. And they're great movies, so you'll have fun.
Okay.
Yeah, Creed 1 and 2 are great. Yeah, you should definitely check those out anyway. So do you know anything about why Stallone isn't in this, or did?
Well, Irwin Winkler, who bought the rights to Rocky when he was first selling it and produced it for him, they had a big falling out, and he wanted to take it in a direction where Sylvester Stallone was very much against. And so they had a falling out. He said, all right, I'm not doing this movie. But he did come out and say, he's like, I will do Creed 4 with Michael B. Jordan. I have absolutely no problem with him, and I hope his movie is great. But I will not work with that producer again. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see what happens. And I will say this, there are elements of it where you're like, I kind of wish he was there because he started the journey with them. But removing him, I think, made the movie work better. It made it Creed's movie. Mm-hmm. Made his story. And I like that. And it left room for him to come back.
All right. Okay. Lee, there we go.
Stallone's not going to need Creed 4 after Expendables 4 money comes rolling in, dude.
Or his next round is King Shark. That'll be big money.
Obviously, you guys don't watch Tulsa King. Get out of here.
Oh, Tulsa King's awesome.
Yeah, I muscled in on legalized weed. I get it. It's a great show, though, but it took me an hour to get into it. I'm like, come on.
I get it.
Well, because it's ridiculous.
All right, so Creed 3 is a huge thumbs up. Don't even wait. Go see it in the theater.
I say so, yeah.
Creed
3 awesome. All right, we got one more show. Let me see
Save
where.
best for last.
Yeah, another
Best
show.
for last. Where I go? Here we go. We got Selective
Chris Rock.
Outrage, the Chris
Selective
Rock
Outrage.
Oh, I wanna
live
hear
I
about
only
event.
saw excerpts. I didn't watch it yet, so I'm
Okay.
interested to hear what Marcy thinks.
Okay. I'm going to start by saying I really liked it. And, I've always been a fan of Chris Rock stand-ups, and this does not disappoint. I have to be honest, I unfortunately could not watch it live, and I'm so bummed because I missed the opener, and then I missed the after. We had a ton of people afterwards, and in order to see all these wonderful things and people, you had to see it Saturday Night Live. And so I did, and I just watched it recently, but it was really funny. The Oscars, the 95th Academy Awards are this Sunday. So very well planned.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock definitely does touch on the slap felt around the world. And he does a great job. And he, I believe, earned it. And I just really loved what he did. So I just want to say I wanted to be a little bit more prepared, but I ended up having a really long day today. In 1996, I left for work very early in the morning so I could go to a Harmony House and wait in line for Dave Matthews tickets. And I got to be first in line. And as I'm buying my Dave Matthews tickets, and it's such a dick move for everyone standing behind me in line, I said, is there anything else going on sale today? As long as I'm first in line. And the guy says, Chris Rock is going on sale. And I'm like, oh my God, I'll in Royal Oak Music Theater. I'm like, I'll take 2 tickets. And I got second row center to see Chris Rock in 1996 in Royal Oak. And it was absolutely one of the highlights of my live stand-up life. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen. And I really felt bad for the person standing behind me looking for Dave Matthews tickets because it's a real no-no to do that. And it was a great show. And I've always been just such a huge fan. So let's see, I always bring my notes so I can be, ready for this. He made $40 million to do this show. Okay. My comedian friends.
Wow.
40 million. And, like I said, I really, really loved it. He, it's a lot of controversy in what he says, and maybe some people might not be happy with some of the things, but he's a comedian. That's what comedians do. They're making jokes and they're gonna, upset people while making other people laugh. He's in Baltimore, and it looks like the crowd really enjoyed it. I'm not going to give away any jokes, but of course he does talk about Will and Jada, and like I said, he does it in a great way. And he talks about his ex-wife and his kids, and one of the stories he tells about his daughters and who they are and how they're rich and spoiled, and just how he's raised them. I enjoyed it very much. He was very real. He did not hold back. There were probably actually a couple things that he said, and I was like, and then he got to the next joke. I was like, okay, I love you again, But please watch it. Has anyone else seen it? Any of you guys?
What streaming platform is it on?
Mhm.
Oh, he's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Netflix paid him $40 million. So what did you guys think?
I will say I love the fact that he did it in Baltimore, which is Jada Pinkett's hometown.
I didn't even realize that. Great. Did he say that or no? I don't.
No, he didn't say it. He just did it, and she said
it came out. Yeah.
Oh, because he did it. Yeah, he did it in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was definitely getting some revenge, and he had a year to plan all of this, and it was brilliant because he handled what happened to him as best as that he could. I mean, he got how many times have you said, I really want to just punch that person in the face? You just don't do it. And he literally took that, and he did what he had to do in a great, great, great way. So I loved every bit of it, and I'm sure that most of the country did as well.
Yeah, I agree. It was pretty fantastic. He really brought his A game. He did everything right. His jokes were on point. He was just on fire with everything. And that was a very strong message told through jokes versus the counteraction nowadays has been Dave Chappelle doing more of a kind of spoken word bit, where he'll get up there and one of his specials is just discussing, just having conversation, which is great. But this was wonderful to see a comedian of that caliber show you why he's worth $40 million. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I think my biggest issue with like a lot of people hating on it was like, is this anything new from Chris Rock? Like Chris Rock is that good of a comedian who steps out and has always talked about things like this.
Mhm.
Now he's just talking about something that personally happened to him, and a lot of people are attacking him. And it's like, he hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see a lot of comments. He may have waited a year, but it usually takes a year to really. And tell me if I'm wrong, comedians in the room. It takes a year for you to go travel and test out all these jokes on the road, stuff like that, and really fasten.
He did a lot of jokes before that special. I mean, he did a lot of sets before that special.
So,
probably did.
Yeah,
all
he
over the
took his
country,
time.
300.
I think I watched the last 10 minutes, which is the Will Smith part and Jada part, and I'll say it's more Jada than Will Smith, to be honest with you. And so and it just because I didn't have time to watch the whole thing, but I wanted to at least watch that before we talked about it tonight. And Will Smith bitch slapped him in front of what, 50 million people.
Yeah.
If the Oscars is lucky.
The fact that Chris Rock didn't go on a wah tour on every single platform that he could have,
The View,
who wouldn't have talked to Chris Rock a year ago?
If you watch more of the show, he talked about how he will not cry about it. He will not, and he did not. And
right.
he does
I'm
touch
saying
on that in a very funny way. Yeah.
So this is him doing it one time. He put a lot of thought into what he wanted to do. I think from what I've read, Baltimore was a specific choice because that's Jada's hometown. And it was like, there'd be no other reason to do something in Baltimore.
Wow.
And I mean, it's just me repeating.
Charm City. Whoa, pump your brakes. Easy now.
No, I meant of like a show like that to like versus that someone was saying like when people film, they wouldn't have necessarily picked up Baltimore, but other than that, Jada's already come out saying Chris Rock is obsessed. They do have a background. They all have a background. He's made fun of her. He talks about how he made fun of her when she was trying to boycott the Oscars and stuff like that. And so there's a little history there.
He
but
says she started it. He does say that she started it.
Yeah.
But I'll just say this. I did not know anything about Will and Jada and an affair and any of that. I was never going to know. I was never going to know because that's just not me. I don't care. I don't watch those shows and I don't follow anything like that. But now I know all of it, sort of, enough. And it was because he talked about it. Just, to get them back even more.
That was, that was something that they, so I thought they both had an open marriage. Like there was a lot of people are sleeping with somebody there. It's a really, what we would consider not normal relationship that they supposedly have. I don't know. So, but yeah,
I just loved it. I will watch it again. My plan was to watch it again tonight so I could even be more prepared, but I just ran out of time. But I will watch it again because, what's better than watching a good stand-up more than once? I mean, I'm really excited to see it again. And I've probably seen all of his other specials 5 times,
Yeah, I got to check it out. I saw some of the excerpts on TikTok a lot after the night it aired. People took their phones and gave you a little snippet of it, and the Will Smith part, that was hilarious, man.
Brutal.
I can't believe some of the stuff what he said about her.
I'm gonna be watching it within the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Will Smith just wants this to go away, but it's like, dude, unless he's getting some kind of anger therapy or something like that, you don't do what he did.
And he did it on the same night where he won an Oscar.
Right.
I know.
Like he won.
Well, okay, this is a good point. To my scene snob guys.
Yo.
What do you guys think his career is going to be now? What's his future?
I think he'll make money. He'll do some movies. They're mostly going to be nostalgic pieces, but overall, he hasn't had a real hit outside of a nostalgic sequel in a while. And okay, bring back Hitch 2. We'll wait right there and see it. Don't worry.
It's gonna a lot.
Don't bring back Hitch 2. Don't.
It's going to be a lot of self-produced movies from his own personal production studio with the family and all of that junk.
Okay.
We're going to get probably a couple more After Earths.
If
That
he,
should
if
be
he's such a
horrifying. And
huge,
Gemini Man again.
And then-
if he's
and then
such a
Kirk
huge
Cameron are going to
powerhouse,
team up.
if he's such a huge powerhouse, how come his health and wellness show that he produced and he had all these backers behind was on YouTube? You know, he could have probably sold it somewhere else. Nobody was buying.
Yeah.
Well, he has he does have the Bel Air show. He does, and he
that
does.
was not him. That was not. Yes, he's a producer.
He's also Cobra Kai. He's a producer on Cobra Kai.
Yeah, but he fell into all of these things because he bought the rights to the crowd.
Right.
To make his movie.
If Chris Rock did anything positive for Will Smith, is mentioning Emancipation, which is the new movie on Apple
TV. And
right.
He messed that joke up. That was
he
messed that joke up. Yeah,
but who messed up more? Nobody saw Emancipation. Chris Rock kept going.
I feel like Will Smith now just does roles where he's kind of like trying to do an Oscar role. Like when he played Serene, the one he did win for, it felt like he was just like trying to win the Oscar
every time. It's what he does. It looks like he always does the Oscar bait, and it's so annoying.
The thing that cracked me up about the night of the slap was here you have him, and he's obviously upset, and don't put my wife's name in your mouth, whatever. But at that moment,
put my wife's mouth on your mouth.
At that moment, right? Will Smith was basically 99.9% chance, odds-on favorite to win Best Actor, right?
Yeah.
And had he the ability to compose himself, he would have been on stage and could have said whatever he wanted to Chris Rock within 5 minutes of that moment, right? And just had a moment to think about it, knowing he'll probably be up there, add something to his speech. Could have just shot off a one-liner, made Chris Rock look like an idiot, and going on. But that's not what he did. I mean, it was just like,
I can't ruin the joke, but just look at Marlon Wayans' joke about that situation on his newest special, and I think that's the best take on it. That was hilarious.
Okay,
I'll check it out.
That's all I'm gonna say. But just,
well,
I didn't like the Chris Rock special that much. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't think he did anything, nothing new. I mean, new material, new delivery by him, but every joke is something we'd heard somewhere else, somewhere along the way. I wasn't impressed with it. I waited an hour to get to the Will Smith stuff. And the story with his daughter, that I did like. I will tell you that. I did appreciate that.
Do you think that they're really hearing that now for the first time? I mean, I always question things, but.
I questioned that too. But if it's true, wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
Right.
Right.
But I wasn't impressed with it, especially. I think it was okay. He's done better.
My dog's
obviously. But who am I? I'm a guy sitting in my living room talking to you guys about his special on Netflix. He wins.
Clearly, we're in the better spot, Steve. Come on.
I will say that he slapped Chris Rock, never slapped Jada. So, you know what? He's still, that's probably where the anger really was. And Chris Rock was a punching bag, but he can't hit a woman. He's like, I gotta hit someone.
Man, that's
I did like his last joke.
I'm gonna hit that guy.
Well, just like I think it was Denzel Washington was interviewed about that, and because he had been talking to Will Smith, and he's like, the devil got a hold of him, and it's like, all right, calm down.
Yeah.
Pump your brakes. How about he's in charge of his own actions?
Right.
And he's an old grown man who can handle his own business.
Is he though? Because let's really think about it. He went on his wife's show to talk about how she was sleeping with her son's friends.
Yeah.
Like he went on and was like, "Yeah, I'll be your guest and we'll talk about this." Like, is he control? There's no control.
Insane.
He did that whole Q&A thing, kind of trying to do a mea culpa too. I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Enough, Will Smith. All right. Well, hey, we're at the end of the show. Can you believe it?
We made it.
All right. Well, I do want to thank all my special guests. Let's start with Cocaine Bear himself, Steve Pierce. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for having
sir.
me.
Nice job, Steve.
Good to have you. We got the Scene
Thanks.
Snobs,
Thanks.
Mick and Casey. Remind us
and
of all your
Casey.
great shows and all that kind of stuff.
Just go check out the Scene Snobs. You can go to scenesnobs.com. We got stuff there. Check out all these amazing people's work for sure. And just if you guys happen to be around Sunday, 2 p.m., the Only and Best Award show will be happening on our channel, the Snobby Awards, celebrating independent podcasting. So please check that out. Jeff, of course, is nominated for his show. And yeah, so thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Jeff, having me
Jeff
on.
has a
Yeah,
show.
great job. Jeff.
We love and appreciate you guys. Thank you so much as always, Jeff.
Oh, great. Jess, show off that pie you were working on.
Ooh.
My God, how about this? Happy Easter, guys. Is that
Nice.
so
Wow.
adorable or what?
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man,
Did it
now I'm all
good?
hungry.
Thanks,
That is
Jeff.
amazing.
So good.
Have
Can
a
I-
really nice Easter.
Can I ask what do you make those for? Is it like just a prop or?
I'm literally sending this to Texas for a woman to craft into gigantic wreaths that hang on Texans' doors.
Amazing.
That's
She
awesome.
makes
Yeah.
the stuff and sells it. She got what's the website for your fake food?
Yeah.
Yes, Paul Art. If you go to that, if you go to any site that has that as a
Nice.
handle, you'll find me somewhere. You'll find me.
That's very cool.
Cool.
Groovy.
Sal, say goodnight.
Good night, everybody. Good to be on this show. This is a packed show. SalDemilio.com. That's it.
Marcy, say goodnight.
Good night. Good night, everyone. It's so
And
fun.
I am
Nice
Jeff.
Good to see everybody.
Good to see everyone.
See
I am
y'all.
Jeff
Bye,
DeFranco.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Here we go.
Mwah.
And that
Sal's
has been
already-
another episode of Crossing the Streams. Join us every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook and YouTube. Follow the Jeff DeWaskin Show on YouTube to be alerted every time we go live with your hosts, Jeff DeWaskin, Ron Lippett, Howard Rosner, Bob Phillips, Sal D'Amelio. We're all in the socials. Follow us, listen to our podcasts, Classic Conversations, and the Sal and Bob Show. Check them all out, and we'll see you next week and every week when we cross more streams right here. See you then.